Okay, so I think we'll make a start. Like I said, I'm sure there's a couple of more people that will join us in a minute, but we want to try and keep this presentation to around about 30 minutes. It's a beautiful day out there. Spring is definitely in the air, and also it would seem a little bit of consumer confidence as well after Boris's roadmap back to recovery, which is absolutely fantastic. So the way this webinar works is you won't be able to chat. Myself and Bridget, my lovely colleague from Norway, what we're going to do is we're going to talk you through our favourite 48 hours in the Caribbean, talk a little bit about our med, and then at the end of the 30 minutes, we'll do, we can open up to questions, probably relating more specifically about COVID and any queries or concerns that you might have. Now, the best way to do that is to just drop us a message through the question box and one of us will get back to you. Or alternatively, you can do the chat box and that goes out to everybody. Now, we've got a little quiz at the end, so make sure you don't put your answers in the chat box because everyone will see it. Make sure you email us, you put it in the question box, and then we will see exactly who's answered correctly and who gets a chance of winning our lovely little rum cocktail sets. So without further ado, we will get started. My name's Natalie and I'm actually based in the UK and I live in Wiltshire. So thank you for joining us with SeaDream, and thank you for Luxury Cruise and More for putting this together. We work really well with the team, and if you haven't travelled on SeaDream, my mouse is just playing up a little bit. It's just, there we go, wrong way, there we go. I will be describing all about SeaDream and why you perhaps would like to travel on SeaDream with us, maybe later this year or maybe next year. So first things first, we like to say it's yachting, not cruising. You may have been on a cruise before. This is a very, very different experience. And the best way I can describe it, if you've never been on a lovely little yacht before, is imagine your favorite restaurant that normally caters for 50, 60 people. Everything you love about that restaurant, the ambiance, the food, the service, just dedicated to just 15 of you. That's what's like to travel on a yacht compared to perhaps traveling on an ocean ship that carries maybe 500, maybe 1,000 customers. We have 2 little yachts. We cater for just 112 guests. Bridget is from our Oslo office. We are actually Norwegian owned, and our founder started up Seabourn, which you might have heard of, and he sold Seabourn and he started up SeaDream. So this is really what SeaDream's all about, getting into the tiny little ports and coves that big ships can't get to. And right now, this is very, very much in demand. I think for the future of travel, people are looking to perhaps get away from the crowds, and we can cater for that. We like to show this slide, well, I do anyway, because you could literally jump off the back of the ship and swim to that beach. You don't have to swim. We do have a tender and a Zodiac will take you to the beach. Get yourself a cocktail on the beach. Realize it's far too expensive, and we'll whisk you back onto the yacht, and you can have one of our gorgeous cocktails up on the top deck there, and we're all inclusive. So once you get on board with us, you don't have to worry about keep paying for things, all your gratuities, all your fine dining experiences, all the water sports, everything's included. So you really, really don't need to worry. Sure, excursions are an additional cost, and we do have a variety of those, but you can just feel free to just relax and chill out. And we want you to, when you come away with us on SeaDream, you experience it as your own yacht. And that is part of the essence of what makes it so special. So we're going to take you around the Caribbean, and one of the things that we like to do is show you some of the unique destinations that we go to. So we really go to some untouched destinations, and this is the cruise that myself and Bridget have chosen, and it goes from St. Thomas to San Juan to Puerto Rico. And yeah, like I said, we're going to do our favorite 48 hours, so you don't just listen to me for 30 minutes. I will stop talking in a minute, I promise, and give Bridget a chance to talk. And yeah, we're going to talk you through certainly we both love St. Bart's. So these are the islands that we go to in the Caribbean, and this is one of the areas we've seen a huge surge in demand for next year, which is just fantastic. And as a result, we are already selling out fast. Our February dates have sold. So I know Scott and the team put a wonderful package together and for the 6th of February, and I had to say, I'm afraid you're going to have to change that for the week after, which he has, and that's all on their website. So just be mindful of that. And as a result, we've actually introduced our 2023 itineraries for those customers wanting to go to the Caribbean. And Barbados is by far our most popular destination for us Brits, mainly because we have a direct flight there. So yes, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that itinerary later. And like I said, Scott and the team have put a wonderful package together, and we've got 7 cruises to Barbados round trip for 2022-23, because we're getting sold out for this winter, which is just incredible. Another feature to mention is Palm Beach. For any regulars out there, hello. You're looking for something a little bit different. This is new for next year, and it's departing in January. You fly into Miami, and we are also repeating it again in 2023, which is great. But as you can see, we go right up. We go from Barbados to San Martin to St. Thomas, and then St. Thomas to Puerto Rico, and we go all up into the British Virgin Islands and away from the crowds. So I'm finally going to pass over to my colleague Bridget, who's going to start her day on SeaDream.
Thank you, Natalie. Yes, I do love the mornings on SeaDream, and especially in the Caribbean, because with the jet lag, then you tend to wake up early. And for me to be on deck and watch as we sort of sail and anchor off a small remote beach or a small yacht harbor, it really, really is the best part of the day for me. And morning coffee, and it's so leisurely, so you can go up in your pajamas. This is our photo up for the morning coffee, but I'm sharing one of my holiday pictures with you guys as well.
Sorry, there we go.
Thank you. So this was me in the Med last summer together with a good friend. So you see, on board SeaDream, we give you a gift the very first night, your personal pajamas, and then you're sort of all set to roam around the ship and have your morning coffee whenever you want before you go down for a shower and to start your day. So don't know, Natalie, how do you start your day?
Well, I must admit, I don't normally make the early rises breakfast, even with jet lag. I like my sleep. But one thing I do always start my holidays off with the best of intentions. Join the yoga classes, the Tai Chi, Pilates, and I always start off really healthy. You know, fruit salad for breakfast, salad for lunch, and fish for dinner, and then slowly by the end of the cruise it starts to digress a little bit, unfortunately. And yeah, the crew tempt me, and I very much get swept away with pancakes and mimosas. But hey, you're on holiday, why not? So what's your first destination that you're going to choose to go to?
Well, the first destination that I'd like to share with you is, from the picture, you could think it's the Seychelles, but it's not. I've never been there, but I've been told it's beautiful. This is actually Virgin Gorda in the British Virgin Isles. And when we go there, we anchor off Spanish Town really early in the morning. And for those who'd like, you have the opportunity to go on a yachting land adventures to the baths, to the stone caves on the beach. And it's magical. And it's again that yachting part, Natalie, that we
Yeah.
get up early in the morning, we go in before the crowds get there, so you kind of have this wonderful beach and these caves to yourself. And then you go back and you join up with the ship just off the Bitter End Yacht Club. You can actually look over to Necker Island as well. And then I like to
Say hello to Richard.
Yes, you can do
Richard
that as well.
Branson.
Yep. No, so one of my favorite islands for sure is Virgin Gorda.
Definitely. Well, one of mine I had to mention was Sabah, and I just love it. To me, this is what yachting is all about. We're British. We love to go on the beach and to relax, and this island doesn't have any beaches, so I don't believe you would necessarily visit it. And oh my goodness, what a little hidden treasure it is. It's so mountainous. When the ship anchors and you wake up in the morning, you just feel like you've entered into Jurassic Park world. It's just beautiful. And yeah, the picture there me and my friend, we're looking a little bit, it's taken at a distance because we're a little bit hot and sweaty because we have just trekked up to the mountain. We did one of the organized treks, and it's just, but honestly, such a good thing to do. And I just, like I said, I just love this island. And to me, this is what cruising's about, yachting's about, taking you to little undiscovered islands that the big cruise ships and you wouldn't experience otherwise. So after my trek, I'm a little bit peckish. So this is obviously our professional photo, but you come back on board and our crew cater to every need. So again, like I said, you can be healthy or have a glass of wine. I am a little bit partial to a glass of rosé, I must admit. And depending on how much rosé I've had at lunchtime, maybe just the one glass, I might partake in a little bit of water sports. And this is really one of the unique selling points of SeaDream. It's a yacht. We have a marina off the back, and we either have the water sports and all the toys out, or you can go swimming. Jumping off the back of the ship is just so exhilarating. Even if you're not a confident swimmer, do it, because it's just amazing. And there's so many crew about. They're always there to make sure you're okay. So you must do that. But again, all the toys are brilliant. The jet skis are fun, the paddle boards. Come on, Bridget, you've been on the banana boat, haven't you?
Oh, I've been on the banana boat, and it's great fun. It's great fun for adults and children. And I'm a sailor, so I do love the Hobie Cat and the laser as well that we have on
Yeah,
board. So
yeah.
it's fantastic. Yep.
And what are you going to be doing this afternoon? You're going out on the
I was
bikes,
thinking
maybe?
to take the bikes out. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm a keen biker, and on board SeaDream, you can take the bikes off on your own. And maybe if you don't want to have lunch with Natalie, you can ask the chef to make you a small pack, and you can have your lunch on a deserted beach. Or sometimes our crew invite for a bike ride and to go biking with the club directors. I really like that. A scenic and nice bike ride. And our crew, they've been to these islands so many times, they know it almost like their second home. So I always prefer to go
What
biking with the crew.
what about going biking with the captain?
Oh, but you see, that's hard work, Natalie. Because usually
He's
our
very
captain,
fit, isn't
he's
he?
very fit.
You have to,
It's a part of
so
his daily
depending.
exercise. Yeah.
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 But
So
no,
so
I'm
that
with
is for the
the
ones who
hotel
are.
director. Yeah, at a nice leisurely pace is much more for me as well, I must admit. We
Perfect.
are holiday.
Have you tried the yoga?
I love the yoga, and occasionally the yoga and the tai chi on the beach is just really, really incredible as well. So yeah, but for me, I've been busy. I've been jet skiing, and I'm just gonna relax for the afternoon by the pool. We have a really wonderful sized pool, and we have lots of outside space. So much so that we cater for a lot of weddings and parties, and we can cater for everybody under the stars, which is fantastic. And the crew, there's 95 crew to just over 100 guests. It's pretty much one to one, and this is what's so special because they get to know you. They get to find out what you want. They'll chat to you. They'll spend time with you. But also they'll recognize that actually I just want to be left alone today, and I want to sit on our Balinese beds. And one of my favorite things to do is when the ship is at sea, um, to watch the ocean and to watch the birds dipping in and out of the waves. And you can't do this on a big ocean ship. I know because I've been on big ocean ships. With SeaDream, you're there, you're eye level with the ocean, and this is what makes it so, so special. Now, we don't have balconies on board SeaDream. This might be something you're aware of or something that you weren't. Please don't let this be a reason that you won't sail with us, because your yacht is your balcony. And like I said, there are so many places that you can come away and hide away. And there's a special little sprinkling of magic that happens with SeaDream that doesn't happen on any other yachts. And that is because we don't have balconies, it's actually so sociable. And let's be honest, we've spent far too much time looking out the window, wishing we could be outside, talking and chatting to friends and loved ones. I know I am looking forward to getting back on SeaDream and being sociable. It's what we're all about, and it's what our little yacht's about. But like I said, there's plenty of little places that you can escape and hide away as well. So you've got back from your bike ride and you're a little bit peckish by the looks of things, Bridget.
Yes, I was. And on SeaDream, you have the restaurant caters for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But in between, Natalie, you have an always available menu. So I've found myself some cheese and a goat cheese salad here. And then you have your room service menu in your cabin if you'd like something there. There's around the pool in the afternoons. I can get small sliders or club sandwiches, and also the kitchen, they prepare freshly made home cookies every day. So it's always cookies and coffee and tea available all
Yeah,
around. So, and
always.
if you wake up at nighttime and you would like something, whatever you want, whenever you want. It's the danger, isn't it, Natalie,
It
with
is.
all the good
It
food?
is. Especially after my lockdown diet as well, but there we go. um, so before we look round, it's the end of the day and the sun is setting. This is my favorite part of the day. This is where you can't just see it, but just out of shot, you've got the bar in the distance, sorry, just out of shot, just of this picture, and you've got the sun setting in the distance. You're chatting to all your fellow travel companions, all your friends that you've met, and you're talking about all your days. Maybe one of you did an excursion, maybe you went on a bike ride with the captain and you're laughing about how you couldn't keep up, and you know, just really chatting. And again, it's going back to being on a yacht. You can just find a really quiet little space, a quiet little moment, and watch the sun set, and you're there at the eye line. And again, I found on a yacht, this is just one of the most beautiful experiences that you don't capture when you're on a big ocean ship 15 decks up again. And then it's time for dinner, and yeah, you get dressed for dinner, but you know, there's no formal night, there's no black tie. It's very relaxed. Remember, it's yachting. And Bridget's going to talk to you a little bit about her favorite dining options and some of the different dining options.
Yes, Natalie, in my 7 years with SeaDream, I think I've tried quite a lot on that menu, and and I can tell you all, it's the variety. It's a specialty restaurant with new menus every day, but you can choose. You can have French decadent food, you can have Asian fusion, maybe one day you just like a homemade pasta. And we also have one section which is a raw food. It's a vegan section,
Mm.
and we have fantastic dishes. And if you want, you can combine them with other dishes or just go for that option. And as everything is prepared à la minute, if there's any food intolerance or anything, then they'll just make it exactly to your liking. So it's really something for everyone, the dining options. And as you mentioned, Natalie, maybe you meet somebody when you're out on a hike, then you know, invite them and you can have dinner with some new friends. Or if you'd like to dine on your own, that's also an option. So it's really the variety, new menus every day, and we cater for everyone.
And you can dine inside or you can dine outside as well with the same menu, can't you?
That's correct, yeah.
Yes. So, and then afterwards, little cocktail perhaps. We're going with the rum. I promise you, there is water in this glass, not rum. But yeah, what's your favourite cocktail, Bridget?
Ooh, well, I'll
Oh,
have
I
to
put you
say
on the
with
spot.
SeaDream in the Caribbean, it's a painkiller.
Oh, oh my
Oh, yes.
goodness. I might have to avoid that.
Yes.
So yeah, talk me through your evening.
Well, my evenings on SeaDream, I think it's magical because some evenings you just sit at the table with good people, you have good food, wonderful wine, and you just stay there. Other evenings, you maybe go to the piano bar or you go to the casino for a bit of blackjack playing. You can go to the library and play chess or just sort of be outside. Around the pool, some evenings we serve as dessert extravaganza around the pool, and our musicians, the pianist and the guitarist, will have live music there and mingling, and it's really just
So much
magical.
fun. Yeah,
Yes,
just
so
lovely.
much fun. Yeah. And there's even more we can do around the pool. You can also watch a video,
Of
or sorry, a
course, watch
movie.
the
Yeah,
movies.
I
Yeah, Under
forgot
the
to mention
Stars.
that. Yep,
Yes, no, I mean, that's great. You've especially, you know, you're in Greece and they put Mamma Mia on. It's just fantastic. So
definitely.
it's time to retire to bed. You might have gone to bed early, or you might be a little bit wonky after that. What was it called? A painkiller?
A painkiller.
And then yes, it's you can have room service. So all of our rooms have lovely ocean view rooms, and then of course we have our admiral suites and our owner suites if you're looking for a little bit more room. But all our lead-in rooms lead in at 195 square foot. I can promise you, especially after this year, you won't be spending too much time in your room, but if you want to, they're very comfortable, and like I said, 24-hour room service. And if the admiral suite and the owner suite are booked out, which quite often they are, then don't worry, because we have Commodore suites, which are basically two of our leading rooms put together, and they basically almost work out to be 400 square foot. So if you like a little bit more space, that really doesn't tend to be an option that we do recommend booking early, especially it would seem at the moment. So yes, it's a new day. And me and Bridget have made friends, and we've decided to have breakfast together. So what are you having for breakfast, Bridget, this morning?
Well, I think this morning I'd like to start with some raw food juices because they make fantastic juices of vegetable and carrot, and I feel like starting
Mm.
really, really healthy and maybe go over to Eggs Benedict towards the end of my breakfast.
I'm going for the pancakes and the mimosa. Don't tell anybody.
I will
Uh,
not.
and and then this picture, it's not the Caribbean, is it? I
No,
thought
it's
it was,
Lushan,
but it's
Lushan Green, but it's from my summer trip with SeaDream in Norway. We took the
not.
yachts up here this summer because there were nowhere else to sail.
Yeah,
So
with
it
all
was
our
a fantastic
Scandinavian customers.
experience.
We're going
That's
to
true.
talk a little bit. So we're probably one of the only cruise lines that actually operated last year during the COVID pandemic. So we already have the experience, and because we're well under the CDC guidelines, Central Disease Corporation, of I think it's 250, we cater for 112. We can legally sell anywhere that we want. So come June, we are ready. So my new day, and it's both of our favourite destinations, isn't it? St. Bart's. We love it. It is the Riviera of the Caribbean. Uh, my advice is, when you're travelling to St. Bart's, is it's got loads of wonderful bars and restaurants and shops. Perhaps go in and have a few cocktails first, and then go shopping, because you won't notice the cost, especially if, when you look at your credit card bill and you look at, get back on board and have one of those painkillers, you'll be absolutely fine. But I love St. Bart's. I love the whole experience of it. You love it too, don't you, Bridget?
Oh, I do, I do. So sometimes I'm there. I just sort of go through the town and hike over to Shell Beach and just relax. And another trip, I went with some friends and we went over on the other side of the island to Nikki Beach Club and spent our day there. So
Yeah, we do
it's
quad
magical.
biking there as well, as part of our shore excursion theme. So there's so much to do. Whether you just want to relax and mooch about, which is what I kind of like to do, or you can do a shore excursion with us, and then you've got your shopping. You just had a lovely day, and you're walking back along the promenade, and the ship have seen you, because they're in the harbour, just anchored off the harbour. They've already sent the Zodiac to come and pick you up. Just you, two of you. You just get back into your Zodiac and whiz you back off to the ship, and then you have dinner underneath the stars with St. Bart's twinkling in the distance. It's very, very special. Something else is very special is what Bridget's going to talk to you about now.
Yes, because this is another one of my favorite islands. And I do like, Natalie, with the Caribbean, that you get the completely different islands just a few hours apart.
Mm.
Because this is from Just Van Dyke, and we actually anchor up two different places in Just Van Dyke. Here in White Bay, it's where we go for one of our famous beach parties. And on the other side of the island, we have Great Harbor, where we sometimes anchor at night. And then you can go in on the Zodiac tender, and you can sort of go to Foxy's Beach Club for the evening with some live music. And the only other people that go there, it's with their own yachts. So it's really something special. And this beach here and this experience, our champagne and caviar splash, it's magical, and the beach barbecue that follows. Yeah. So yeah, I wanted to share with you my my last beach party with SeaDream. And this is the way it feels and looks, but I think we have a prettier picture, don't we, Natalie?
We do. We have the professional one with Thomas, our chef. Everyone loves Thomas. He's amazing. I mean, he feeds you. Why wouldn't you love him? But the crew are fantastic, aren't they?
They are, and we've spoken a lot about sort of what we can offer hardware-wise and the food, and but what really is the essence of SeaDream is our crew. And as you mentioned, Tomas has been with us since the beginning in 2001, and Jamie next to him, he's now our hotel manager on SeaDream 2. But when I joined, he was a Metro D, and when he joined the company, he was a waiter. So people stay with SeaDream. It's the
The
SeaDream
family.
family, yes,
Yes,
and
very
they go
much.
above and beyond. So they're
Yeah.
magical.
And our caviar and splash parties are available on, so champagne and caviar are available on all of our Caribbean cruises.
That is right.
So another night under the stars, dinner under the stars, and you can actually sleep under the stars as well. You've done this, haven't you, Bridget?
I have. It's magical. I'll recommend all of you to try that.
Yes, yeah. And you can sleep. There's the one right at the front there, or the Balinese beds. The picture I showed earlier. You can really hide away, and so we have more than just one option of one couple or one person sleeping under the stars. So that was our cruise from to Puerto Rico from San Thomas, but I thought I would show you the Barbados round trip cruise that's departing on the 12th of December, so just before Christmas. We do have some cruises over Christmas and New Year, but they're starting to get really, really busy, especially the cruise that spends New Year's Eve in St. Bart's. I mean, obviously, we can all understand why, having just chatted about it. But as I said, for us Brits, Barbados round trip is proving to be so popular. And I mentioned that Scott and the team have put together a wonderful package, actually not for the 12th of December. They've put it together for our cruise. It was the 6th of February, but I had to ring up Scott last week and say we've sold out of that cruise. So he's changed it for the week after. So it's the flying out from Heathrow on the 10th of February, staying at 2 nights at the Taramint Hotel. And then they've organised private transfers for you to take you onto the ship. And then the ship is there we depart on the 13th of February. And we do this itinerary. It's 6 nights, 7 days. And this is the Spice Islands. Beautiful, off of the beaten track again, and we go to Bequia, which is very similar to Jost Van Dyke. You can only get there if you have your own little yacht, and it's the essence of what makes SeaDream special. And our beach day, our caviar and splash day, is on the island of Marais. I think I've pronounced that right. And here's just a few pictures. If you weren't already tempted enough, a few pictures of the beautiful islands of the Spice Islands, again, hiking, history, and those wonderful beaches. So that's our little tour around the Caribbean. How are we doing on time? We've got a couple of minutes, so we can't not talk about the Mediterranean, because again, we're either in the Caribbean or the Med, and then we do our transatlantic cruises across, very popular with our regular customers. So the Mediterranean, we're hoping to be starting from the 1st of June. Well, it's not the 1st of June. I think it's the 6th of June and the 12th of June. I need to just double check that, but I think those are the dates. And we go to 120 different destinations in the Med. And what's interesting, we've seen a slight change in customer demand. Like I said, we've had an amazing week. Definitely confidence to travel from July onwards. And we're going to the Black Sea. That's sold out already. So luckily we're going back there twice next year. And we've seen a real demand for the Greek islands. Funny that, given that Greece has said that they're opening up to passports, vaccine passports. And already for next year, Greece is selling out really, really well, which is a little bit of a shift, because actually, if I'm honest, normally the Riviera, the Adriatic, the Amalfi Coast, they're the most popular with yachting for obvious reason, cruising around those destinations. So it's really interesting to see that. And I thought I would share that with you. But really, the top tip to share with you is, if you want to travel with us later this year, I mean, September and October are pretty much nearly full. And then also Caribbean and Q2 next year is looking really, really busy. So don't delay, and we'll talk a little bit more about the end, how you're protected with us, because that's the most important thing. You want to book now, you want to be able to look forward to it, but you want to know that well, let's be honest, we're living in a crazy world right now. You want to know that you're completely protected. So we'll talk about that. But going back to some of our favourite islands, myself and Bridget, we highlighted a few. Portofino, I mean, again, just like you have dinner under the stars in St. Bart's, sitting out anchored at the harbour, you have got the best restaurant in town. How many of our customers, Bridget, go off for dinner, don't they? And then the next night they're like, we're having dinner on board with Thomas every night now. That's it. We obviously go to the Montenegro Fjordlands, which are just amazing for cruising. They're beautiful. Jumping off the back of the ship in the Fjordlands is just incredible. Monte Carlo we had to mention, because we're going to be there for the Grand Prix next year. Taormina is my favorite port to visit in Italy, and that whole Amalfi Coast I just love. And yeah, I could not mention that. And then Seville, we're going to be there in June, and this June, and this is how small we are. We're smaller than we cater, even though we're bigger as a yacht than most river ships. We cater than less customers, only 112. Most river cruises cater for around 150, 200 guests. So we can get right into the heart of Seville. You have an overnight in Seville, and then we cruise through the river and out into the Atlantic. One thing to mention on all our Mediterranean ports is we tend to stay, if not overnight, we stay late into the day, so that if you do want to, because I always find they change, they transform from a sleepy little Greek island right to, you know, somewhere magical of an evening, so you can really get to experience the best of both the day and the evening. This is the Corinth Canal, and this is us transiting through, and we like to show it just because it just shows how small we are. And Bridget, you've been on this cruise, haven't you? I've gone over slightly, but go on, tell us about your Corinth Canal experience.
Yeah, it was magical, as you say. It was on my bucket list, and to have the Greek Zorba music playing and the staff in white toga on the top deck as you sort of sliding through, it's amazing. And we do it several
Yeah,
times this summer
I
and next
really want to
summer.
do it.
So
Yeah, it's
yeah.
nearly sold out for this year, so I've got my eye on this cruise for next year.
Mhm.
So that's it from us. What we thought we'd do. Has there been any questions? I don't think there has there?
No
So
raised hands and no questions
no,
that I can
no.
see.
Okay. Well, don't be shy. You know, we won't bite. Do ask us any questions. But what we're going to do is we're going to cover some COVID-related questions now. But we're going to talk to you about how we operated last year successfully in Norway, and we don't know how the landscape will look for next year quite yet. We're waiting for the task force on the 12th of April. The government have put a travel task force together, so we will know a little bit more about how travel looks for the future then. But this is how we operated last year. And like I said, we're one of the only cruise lines that have experience of operating during COVID. So I'm not sure if you're arriving into Italy. This is what we don't know at the moment, whether you will be required. Certainly, Greece have indicated that they're looking for a vaccine passport. It could be that if you go into Italy, they just require that you have a COVID test 72 hours before. Like I said, these are all what we're still working on. What I can tell you is that when you arrive at the ship, you are greeted by our team. They will take your luggage and hand luggage and they will defog it. I can promise you no hand luggage is harmed in this procedure. And then you will come and meet our doctor. Now, you will have already filled in a quite intense questionnaire before you travel, just to make sure everything is covered and we've got everything. Now, we don't know if we will have the rapid test. We had it all last year and it worked really well. And it's the same one that works for the White House, that they use in the White House, and we used it because there was no vaccine available last year. Obviously, we're in a little bit of a different landscape. Will you need to have a rapid test if you've had a vaccine? I'm not quite sure yet. One of the reasons is we're still looking at the data, but the signs are really promising. It's proving that if you take a vaccine, you don't transmit on the virus, or it's very, very low. So everything's looking hugely promising, which is just fantastic, because we're just going to have to learn to deal with COVID. It's going to be with us for a few years. I mean, I'm no scientist, but I get the feeling it will. But it's just like I said, how we manage that. So when you're on board, we don't just deep clean on day of debark and embark. We have these ultra pure machines that we've already invested in, and they will be deep cleaning your rooms every day. And we also have the ultraviolet lights that we leave in your rooms when you're not in your room for at least an hour. Now, one of the things I forgot to mention is on debark day, we do a staggered embarkation day. So we will tell you that before you travel what your time is, and we ask you to turn up at that time so that it's all staggered. Every time you get on and off the ship, we check your temperature. And then we also have the disinfectant floor mats that I always say disinfect your feet. They don't disinfect your feet. They disinfect your shoes. So you're not carrying any germs on and off from the port onto the ship. So that is how we operated successfully last year. Our customers, wasn't the Norway cruises amazing?
It was. truly.
Yeah, and and it's just, and we have plenty of space on board, so we were able to allow for social distancing on board, and the same with our tables. We have lots of tables that are designed for larger groups. Again, we can allow for social distancing if people want to dine together. So hopefully we'll be in a world where everyone's vaccinated and they can prove it doesn't spread transmissions, and we'll be able to all get on with our lives. I know everybody's very, very much looking forward to that. Now, if you decide to travel with us this year, maybe you've chosen a date in July or August or maybe October, November time, then you can cancel and change what you do is you change your voyage to a different date, as long as it's 12 months from the original sail date. You don't have to give us a reason why. And it's not just about, there's so much added from COVID. Look at weddings. How many people are going to be trying to squeeze in a wedding now after the 21st of June in the UK? So you might have booked a holiday for October, and then suddenly your niece has managed to find a date for her wedding, and you don't want to travel. That's fine. You can tell us, as long as you let us know 15 days before, we will allow you to amend completely free of charge, no problem at all, if you book now. I have to say, this SeaDream with Confidence policy, once probably after the 12th of April and a roadmap is looking more certain for travel, we won't have this SeaDream with Confidence. So this is another real reason to book now, especially for 22 and beyond, because if you talk to the team at Luxury Cruise and More, they will tell you that all flights at the moment are being so flexible. So there's never been a better time to book. And if you want to book a forward booking with us for 22, 23, which a lot of people are, it's only a £20 per person or £40 booking, £40 per booking administration fee. That's it. And you can just change and cancel your holiday for next year. Again, it might not be, it could be that weddings, who knows how many missed anniversaries there are, parties, because I know I've got lots of friends that missed special birthdays last year that are looking to celebrate later on this year or maybe next year. And we are getting a lot of families that are wanting to travel. So when I say families, it's older families, people not so much with younger children, but maybe they've got a 21-year-old, an 18, it's the grandparents' golden wedding anniversary, the 50th, the 60th birthday, and they're coming together in groups and wanting to travel with us, which we cater really well for. Or maybe, because once you get past 30, 40 of you in a group, we can't really cater for you because there's too many of you and it changes the dynamics for our other guests, as you can imagine. So then we suggest a charter. So if there's 50 of you plus, definitely look at a charter. And actually, you don't need to do the whole week. You can just do 2-3 nights. And it works out about $100,000 a day. So when you count that down to sort of a 3-night, you're talking about £4,000 or £5,000 per person for you and 50 friends to charter the yacht for a few nights. So don't rule it out, especially if you know somebody who's looking to get married. Maybe that would be an amazing option for the whole the family to go away on holiday together. So that's pretty